the last time we actually gathered, you did ask me a question regarding emergency situations, and we did cover that situation again. I felt it pertinent to go into that again with you today, if only because the Adihana River has actually been flooding for quite some time now, and levees have been breaking all over the place. Foreign venue folks have built quote-unquote towns in natural floodplains, and so effectively they built levees to keep those quote-unquote towns protected from flooding. But they basically bottled up one area, and water had to go somewhere, so it went somewhere else, and it's caused a lot of damage. But receding waters have brought with it fertilizer, fecal matter, fuel, and a whole host of other contaminants into the water, and that water flows southward onto the Gulf of the Amexem. So where those waters go, the contaminants go. Now, you're talking about folks who rely on that river and its tributaries for their water supply. Town Memphis is in the line of fire, as they say, and the flood staging is at least five standard Earth hours north of Town Memphis. I have been in contact with the regional command authority that I have in that particular area. We have been monitoring from the Imperial City what's been happening with that water heading southward. The Minister for the Interior has been speaking to me regularly on the subject. When the Imperial Council convened 96 standard Earth hours ago, that was a major topic of discussion because we realized that we may very well have to dispatch additional supplies. I have confirmation from the Department of Logistics as to how much water is on the station in terms of storage. They got that information from the Imperial Water Agency, so we know exactly how much water and how much emergency supplies we have on station for our nationals on the ground in the Town Memphis. We already have made preparations. The Imperial Customs Force has already got certain things operational. I spoke with the Minister for the Customs again 48 standard Earth hours ago, and he made sure that he made me aware that he's already taken care of the standard protocols. So that's on autopilot, as they say. That's already taken care of. Effectively, Custom Station 3 has already gotten things prepared. They're ready to go. So if we have to deploy out, we shall dispatch emergency supplies to the fallback position for our staff and nationals in the area of the Town Memphis. The reason being, if the regional ambassador deems it to be appropriate, in other words, if things get out of hand there, because with water being contaminated, you can't bathe in it either, as well as not being able to drink it.
It can't be good for the ecosystem.
Exactly. So the Department of Land Management will be covering that later. We haven't gotten that far yet. But in terms of the other things, if the regional ambassador deems it appropriate to evacuate said area, they would go to the fallback position. Now, I'm not going to say which one for security purposes, but we have multiple fallback positions for the Town Memphis area. They know the standard procedure, which basically means once they fall back, if it's gotten to the point they can do that, we would dispatch out relief supplies from Custom Station 3. The pilot's already been situated. We will get operational underway when the call comes in. The Minister for the Interior, who's running the entire operation, will signal customs, and from thereafter the dispatch will commence. The away team will be received by the regional ambassador staff on the ground there, and the commanding officer from Custom Station 4 will see after everything thereafter. They will dispatch the supplies to those who need by the order of the regional ambassador. We'll get their reports, and we'll be able to make the rest of the family aware of what's happening. In the interim, we will make way an away team to resupply any other areas that may be affected by this particular operation. We'll put supplies on the ground in the Atlantis to short particular things, and if we have to resupply Town Memphis once more, then we will do that. We'll maintain our folks until they can get back to their homes, ICF would deploy out the anti-crime command units locally on the ground there. They will secure the properties, make sure that everything is in proper order, if there's been no looting and things of this nature. They will see after the concerns of making sure that our folks are back in their homes safe and unmolested. We'll take care of those matters. So we are paying attention, and all because of major flooding that has now been affected by major contamination of the waters that are now flowing southward. So I wanted to go into this issue because, again, you had asked about it. So briefly, because I'm going to have to get back with the Regional Command Authority in a minute. Is there anything you wanted to ask or add on to what I just said regarding these comments?
As far as that, because we know how important it is for all nationals, whether they declare or not, to be safe. Really, my follow-up question to that would be, is there anything else that could be of a necessity that we should have during these times, or when we need to be prepared for these disasters?
Training is very important. Having supplies ready to move out is very important. Communications is very important. If there's ComNet disruption, then you have to have preset protocols and procedures already in place that your folks know. If you've got ComNet disruption, then you must engage in these procedures. Training the net is ultra important. And the Amexem-Moor-Empire, we've been doing this for years. This is not new to us. There's a wide variety of things that I can go into, but it took a lot of time, and certain things, again, security issues we keep internally. But that would be the best way I know how to answer that particular question. And so we'll pick up other things in a little while. We have to contact the regional ambassador on a few issues, and then we'll resume back here. So with that, I'll say we'll speak in a few minutes.